What would you do if you could walk through walls, viewers? We're gonna find out today. Probably not a whole lot that's exciting, though, because all you can really do when you walk through walls in Axiom Verge is get items. So that is what we're going to do. So I've been avoiding this passageway for a while because there's really no point in coming this way. Now it's at least a perfectly good shortcut to get back where we're going, so this is the direction we'll come now. So, what's down here? Well, there's that, but I can't walk through walls enough to do that. So I guess we'll have to find another way to that. And in here we have horrible spiders and this coral stuff slowing me down, so it's a really exciting room. And most of the time, it is probably not the best way to get through here. What I'm actually aiming for is this room here. You'll recall we couldn't jump up here before. Now we can with the high jump. Oh, there's a hopper there. Where are you? There you are. But being able to jump up here didn't help until we could also go through walls, which we now can as well. Being able to do that allows us to come over here and get another health node fragment, which doesn't do anything for us right now. One day, collecting all those health node fragments is going to make us happy. And I fully mapped the room, right? Yep. Now I never need to go in there ever again. Having done that, I will go through this shaft with all the coral things again. Let's see if I can ignore most of them. Except for that one, I generally can. Alright, once again, let the entertainment commence. You know you love it, viewers. You know it. Save over here. Thank you. I will take the shortcut to this one. You can't zap me. Now let me out. Thank you. So let's see. First place we can go that we couldn't go before is over here. Completely new zone. This is called Indie. I'm not entirely sure if that means anything in Sumerian. I'll have to check on that later. Because we actually can't do very much in here yet. There's a jump here that we can't make, and some kind of huge seashell thing on the other side. And not very much music. Note on the map, by the way, that Indy is kind of a central area that touches all of the zones we've been to so far. So if nothing else, it'll probably function as a shortcut. I do like, by the way, how they kind of blend the tiles from one zone into another. But more importantly, now that we have the lab coat, we can come up here, get another power node, excellent, and then climb up this way into the rest of Kur. Now, see that thing up there? That is a Carnivorous Silk Bug, I believe, according to the wiki. And that is another one. Surprise! And then up here, get rid of that one, just in case it gives me health. We can't go over to the left there yet, but we can go up and get new music. And see the sky for the first time, which is interesting. Now, how Castlevania does this area feel, viewers? These tiles are pretty Castlevania. These things are just called Armadillos. And you'll note you cannot damage them with weapon-type damage. You actually need to drill them. If you hack the silk bugs, they kind of just hang on the ceiling and drop down on you. It's probably easier just to destroy them normally. You cannot, at this time, hack the armadillos, by the way. You do actually have to drill every one of them. Can't go that way yet, so I guess we have to go up. Can't get through there. We can actually crawl, by the way, but not enough to fit through passages like that. There's really no fast way of taking care of the armadillos there. Just kind of have to drill them a little bit at a time and get out of their way when they do their steam thing. Which I am not doing very well at the moment. Can't go up there yet, can we? We can map it at least, but... Come on. Thank you. And all we can do is go up into the next room here, which is more climbing. This is why this area is called Mountain. I don't think we can get anywhere up here, except that I believe we actually are getting secret area scan lines. And it's up there in my case. I will come back for that later, because for right now I prefer to make progress. I will be coming back to do that. There are boulders dropping on us here. Be watchful for that. What are these things called? When you hack them, they start behaving like broccoli, which really isn't that much of an improvement. Roller dogs, maybe? Cyberdogs. Okay. What's over here? Save point. I kind of need that for the health right now. But if you don't hack them, they just kind of charge at you. It's not a good demonstration, but like that. And the boulders... Let's see if I can get one here. Boulders can actually be hacked. When you hack them, they basically behave like bubbles and float away. Can't get through there. Even though you can teleport through things with one thickness. I always forget about that silk bug. Always. That's right, there is a silk bug waiting up there. Trigger it, then make the jump. It's not terribly convenient to destroy it, but you can. And we can't quite jump over there yet. There's a lot going on in this area, and it's easy to fall, so take it slowly. Try to remain cognizant of whether or not there are boulders falling wherever you happen to be. Ah! And I fall. Not too far, though. This is okay. Okay, this platform is safe. Get rid of the silk bug there. There is a health fragment over there that I can't get to yet. Also cannot jump high enough to get through that drillable section there. Let's see, can I do anything over here yet? I can open that up, so I have a shortcut back down if I desire it. Let me see, can I go this way? No, but there's an item over there. It's an octopus? Maybe an ood? But we can get through here. Not up there, though. Okay, that takes us down here. We can get back up for what it's worth, but... It is easier to get back up when we have the remote drone, which does exactly what you think it does. You can fire a little projectile, and it allows you to run around as a little drone, which, most importantly, can go through these one-square passages. You will note that while you are controlling the drone, Trace is protected by a magical force field bubble. Would be nice if we could use that normally, but no. They demonstrate to us there that the drone's weapon does drill-type damage, so it can get through blocks and damage the armadillos slowly. Also, you will see the drone has its own health meter in yellow there. The drone's health meter is based on how many power nodes you've collected. Now, anytime when you're controlling the drone, you can hit B, in my case, and just teleport back to wherever Trace is, which in this case is back over here, where we can now go through that laser gate that we couldn't before, and just come back out here. Now, as you can imagine, there are plenty of interesting things we can do with the drone that we couldn't previously. just check quickly what my next goal after that was on my map. Okay, we can go over there. Map any of these areas here? Not quite. I'll be back for that later, with more mobility. Didn't mean to fall all the way down, but okay. But now that we have the drone, we can actually come through here. And there are no actual limits to how far the drone can travel. It's just a question of what types of terrain it can navigate. And now we have an area where we have to use the drone to evade these laser urchins without the benefit of hacking them. So it's an interesting disempowerment type mechanic, these sections where you have to use the drone here. The other use for the drone is that any damage it receives does not carry over to Trace's health meter, so you can use the drone to scout or go ahead reasonably safely. And if the drone is destroyed, it doesn't matter. You just return to controlling Trace, and the drone's health meter gradually refills. But by coming over here, we can get another weapon, the Hypo-Atomizer. It's about as useful as any of the other weapons, which is to say, not very. All it does is he shoots little sub-projectiles off of the main projectile, which looks sort of cool, I guess, but they're not very powerful. So that's about all we can do up here on the mountains. Time to go back into the Singing Caverns. Hooray! And you will remember that over here, there was this interesting thing to navigate. Well, the drone is exactly how you do this kind of thing. By the way, another important thing to know about the drone, while the projectile's in the air, you hit Y, and you can immediately turn back into the drone and start controlling it. That is actually a vital skill later on. Now here you will see the drone can't progress because the drone cannot teleport through walls the way Trace can. So we have to use the drone to open the gate and then return to Trace and go through here. And then make progress using the lab coat. And I fall right onto a ghoul. Lovely. Again, we have a section here the drone has to come through. And there's a huge swarm of wasps. Just to demonstrate, the drone can come in, take pretty much as much damage as it wants, and not really matter. So I'm actually not even going to be careful with all these ghouls in here, just to see if I can actually get the drone to be destroyed. Although the ghouls are going to be really generous with health drops today, so that may not even happen. Oh well. But the drone goes down there, opens the gate. Trace comes through. That's the pattern we'll be doing for a while here. And we have another one of these little Metroid-styled eggs, which contains Address Disruptor 2. Excellent. We can use that to uncorrupt those solid bits of garble that we've seen around. So that will further improve our mobility. Let me see what else I'm doing here. Okay, I'm just going back up right now. Have to leave behind this lovely performance and go back into the outside of the mountains. Don't forget about that one. I can just come around here and not even worry about it. This is very peaceful mountain music. You will note that with the Address Disruptor 2, we have greater range, in addition to being able to hack different blocks. Also, we can actually hack things like the Armadillos now. When Armadillos are hacked, you can damage them with weapon damage, which will make going up and down the mountain here a lot easier. And we can now come through here. Hooray! And the singing resumes. Didn't mean to do that. Okay, am I safe there? Okay, I am safe standing right here. So what I'm going to do to take out these krill is actually have the drone come in, sit in the purple goo, and just take them out while Trace watches safely from a distance. And even that did not destroy the drone yet. I'm impressed. Usually the drone has seemed pretty fragile to me, but not today, apparently. Okay, we have more krill in here. Coming from below, I can pretty easily hack these, though. And once they are hacked, they're a little more manageable. You'll notice maybe a little bit of flicker in that purple goo to the left there. And that's because you can actually hack that and get a solid surface to stand on here. Be careful you don't unhack it, though, while you're standing on it, which you can do if you're not careful. But that allows us to come up here. And we get another room with these things. You will see there, too, the game makes us likely to discover that hack enemy damage can destroy the armadillos also. Not that it matters, because I can just hack them myself and destroy them. Now, what I want to do is shoot the drone up onto that ledge. By doing that, I can lure the laser urchins to break that block and come up through this tunnel. Wonder what's up here? Silk bugs? Ow. And another health node fragment. And I don't even care about the damage the drone is taking. You'll see over here that the health meter refills pretty quickly once I come back to trace. And everything goes quiet. These things here are purple flying krill, I believe. They don't do much of anything besides bounce around. They don't fire shots or anything. But when you hack them, they actually become standable platforms. That doesn't really help us at the moment. They kind of just get in the way. But you can imagine that at a later time it might help. For right now, though, this is probably a save point, right? Indeed. So, map, save, and health refill. Hooray! Interestingly enough, we have scary noises and a red door, but no skull motif. That does mean, nevertheless, that it's time for another boss. Does this one want to kill me? Trace is unsurprised. Who is our demon? This one seems a little more articulate. It
carries
weapons,
but
looks
like
unsure. Looks like what? Yep, that's how guns work. Cannot trust self. Cannot trust
Ephitos, but to be safe,
it must die. This is gir-tab, simply meaning scorpion in Sumerian. And if I recall correctly, the way it stands up there makes it really blatantly vulnerable to the Hypo-Atomizer we just got. Because the only place it can be damaged is that little yellow bit on the backside there. Unlike previous bosses, you can't just run behind it. It will actually turn around if you try to do that. I believe a speedrun tactic for this is to run behind it nevertheless and hit it really quickly with the Kilver, and that'll take off at least a lot of its health, if not all of it. But even doing that, it's still not a perfect instant kill, like some of the other speedrun tactics I've shown off. But, interestingly enough, gir-tab is actually completely skippable in a speedrun. If you use speed warping properly, you never even have to come this way and fight it. Specifically, if you never save after you go past the point of no return in Z, come all the way in here, get the drone, get the second Disruptor, and then save warp back into Absu, you don't even need to come this way and get the item back here. And yeah, that one was unusual. Will also never give us answers? Maybe. So they were normal humans. Maybe they were corrupted by the pathogen, which you may remember the note we read by the thing being affected by the Zeter personality previously, which is probably a first-hand description of that. The question is, and the game doesn't really answer this, where do the names Zeter, gir-tab, etc. come from? They seem like they are names that come from the Sudran Sumerian culture. Does that mean that Thetos was originally Sudran too, maybe? Or, I don't know. Killing these bosses is actually an act of mercy according to Elsa Nova, so we'll trust that. We can't actually explore the rest of this room yet. There's a door up there at the top, but we can't do anything with that yet. And we have another giant robot face, Katrahaska. What do you mean, was? She worked with the Thetos. Lovely. But they stopped her. We don't have to fight her or anything. And they fought with drones at one time. So, remind me again why we're restoring repair drones? Surely those aren't the same drones you used to fight, are they? Let me see. It's a while before the next save point, and I'm basically at my intended episode length. So, having defeated gir-tab here, and had the scene with Katrahaska, I'm going to go on back and save for the moment. So, next time, we will go on beyond the gir-tab room and see if we can finally find, 1, the repair drones that we're looking for, and 2, a way of getting back into Absu and some of these other areas that we can't get through. Thank you for watching, and good night.